hello, everyone. I am Baljean, and this is my world, at least the way I see it. It has been a long, busy, and very involved weekend, but we had the request to talk about tariffs today, so that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm still tired from the weekend, so guess what? Everybody gets a break. We have no homework today, unless we find homework in the midst of what we're going to do. But yeah, the tariffs are looming. Everything's uh well, we know how it is. One thing before we start, I drove down through Illinois yesterday, and on the side of the road they have the old farms and the barns and whatnot. This one barn was painted pink, and on the flat part of the A-frame, they had in massive letters Trump 2020. And I was like, well, I'm in the wrong lane. I can't set you on fire. And maybe you're not happy with what's going on now, but yeah, they that particular family was for Trump, and yeah, wasn't happy. But Chris is here. You did homework from last week. Yay. Well, we'll figure out what the homework is from this week, because I couldn't think of anything that anybody would do anything about, but we'll see. Because, you all come up with things that don't occur to me. That's why we do this. Darcia, hello, good to see you. And there's my cousin Michelle. She's got her notebook. Okay, well, we'll see if we can come up with homework. I don't know. It's BB, hello, sweetheart. So good to see you. And there's our dear darling Kate. You got a notification. Yay. They have not been sending out notifications for this channel, so I am so happy. And there's my dear sweetie. And don't forget the thumbs. But I've pulled up some clips. There were a lot of people doing a lot of you know what? Let's not. Okay, we've got 2 clips so far, and we've got a page. So do you want to do the clip first, or do you want to read through the page first? You all can decide. Oh, you got a notification. Yay. You got your notebook ready? Okay. We'll get into this. Let me know let me know where you want to start. Some of this, when people go over this, they overlap. Okay, Michelle's voting for the page first. Okay. I had I believe this is for 2025. I had trouble because in 2020 we also had empty shelves and shortages and whatnot, and I was trying to make sure there was 2.0 and not 1.0, and I do believe I have 1.0. So I had pulled up about the tariffs and everything, but hi Granny, welcome in. Good to see you. Oh yeah, it was a request, so we're gonna do this because first, they are predicting that the shelves will start being empty in the middle of May, which is coming up soon. People started reporting in April that we were going to start seeing things in May. Let me see if I can make this big. Okay. What are the shortages? Let me make sure you can see this before I start telling you about this. And no, you can't. Yay. Okay. Now, I wish I could make this bigger and go back to the other tab, and I cannot. See, okay. Well, we'll just do what we can until I figure out another way about it. But they said shortages in 2025 are in several key areas, including food, medicine, and certain materials used in manufacturing. Supply chains disruption, geopolitical factors, and climate change are contributing to these anticipated shortages. So they're anticipating is the food. They are looking at what they had told us before: avocados, Avocados, tomatoes, oh my. They have gotten so cute with all these little, don't point, Valjean. Okay, avocados, tomatoes, and berries, as well as beef, pork, and dairy. Citrus fruits, including oranges, lemons, and limes, are also expected to be scarce. Then we have medications. Drug shortages persist in the United States, with many shortages lasting over 2 years. Okay, if you can, and if you have the kind of medication that they will let you, stock up on it. Thank you, BB. Oh, yes, Granny. The orange guy wants to put tariffs on. Yes, movies that are not made in the U.S. But you know what? If we're not getting food and we're not getting medication, who cares about movies? Um, our priorities should be on our essential that we need for everyday living. A lot of stores are out of toilet paper already. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. It is just astounding. And he is still insisting. I saw I forgot where I saw him last week, but even until last week, he is still insisting that the other countries are paying the tariffs and that Americans will not be paying the tariffs. I don't know if he actually believes that, or if he thinks if he says it loud enough, we'll believe it. I'm not really sure at this case because he is still saying that the other countries pay the tariffs. And even Elon Musk has finally sat down and said the tariffs are not good for America. Oh, yeah. BB says, yes, orange will be scarce because they keep deporting the people that pick. Well, they don't think they're going to be scarce because they think they're going to put us back into the fields. I mean, the other brown people into the fields to pick them. And I ain't picking nobody's oranges, so we'll be doing without oranges. That was 2020. See, that's what I said. But you see, I asked for 2025. Let me see, when did this come up? Because they were talking about supply chain shortages. Yeah, C4. Okay, Forbes is predicting. See, I'm having a problem. No, I don't want to. Okay, you know what? Let's look at the films first, and then we will go back to the um page because nobody's writing anymore. Everybody is doing AI. So I'll have to work on that. Okay. This lady I just discovered today. I have never seen her before, but she has about 864,000 subscribers. So I'm pretty confident that she's done her research. She does not appear to me to be a quack. But let me turn her up and you all can decide what you think. I'm kind of here for it. And I believe her channel is Belle of the Ranch. So she may even give us some of those prepper tips that we're going to be needing.
There, Internet people, it's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the ports, jobs, products, and Trump. The San Pedro Bayport Complex, that's LA and Long Beach, is the busiest seaport in the Western Hemisphere. About 40% of all containerized imports to the United States pass through the port. It doesn't matter where you live in the contiguous U.S., something in your local store came through that port. The port has been pretty busy, but now it's dropped. Port officials say about a third of the traffic has stopped. The burst of activity since Trump was elected and all of those imports that were shown in last quarter's GDP were U.S. companies getting ahead of the tariffs. They were pulling in as much inventory as they could, as quickly as they could, before Trump's tariff tantrum destabilized the economy. Experts say they pulled in enough inventory to last a month and a half, maybe two. But inventories aren't the only worry. Before you see less products, there are other lesses that will be apparent. See, less ships means less containers. Less containers means less over-the-road truck and rail shipments. That means less over-the-road truck and rail jobs. Less truck and rail shipments means less boxes in the warehouse. That means less warehouse jobs. Less boxes in the warehouse means less local truck jobs to get them to retailers or destination points to be turned into finished products or used. That means less local truck jobs. From here, it gets a bit fuzzy. This is where you get less products on the shelves, and maybe it means less retail jobs, or maybe it means people will pay more for substitute products. Inflation will go up, and other bad things. But paying more does mean the retail jobs are safer, for the time being. See, the production capacity in the factories doesn't exist yet, so many of the products literally can't be made here. Once the higher priced alternatives are gone, we don't really know what's happening at that point. Most of the items disappearing first are non-essential, inexpensive things with low profit margins. Plastic cups, soaps, and so on. Then people will notice toy shortages and back-to-school supply shortages. If you were wondering why Trump was talking about pencil rationing, my guess is that somebody explained school supplies would be hit early. Inexpensive clothing would slow down here too. Just as a general rule, the more expensive it is, the longer it will take to show, in theory. Other things will hit in this period too, like batteries, some generic meds, and a lot of over-the-counter stuff. If you need, notice I said need, ibuprofen or acetaminophen, you might want to pick up an extra bottle. If you don't need it, don't cause a run on it for no reason. From here, it starts to go downhill fast. The clock is ticking for Trump to either surprise the world and emerge victorious in a trade war that was started because the most powerful economy in the world somehow felt it was being cheated, or pivot out of this. Alternatively, he could just declare victory and walk away, which I'm honestly a little confused why he hasn't done that yet. Just don't end the green energy funding and incentives from the Biden era and claim that was because of the tariffs. I mean, people who pay attention would know it wasn't true, but his base would totally buy it. The point is, the clock is ticking. Oh, cheap alarm clocks and watches are on the list somewhere too. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
I like this lady. I just discovered her this morning and I like this lady. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, oh, that's not what I was trying to do. Well, what happened? Oh, I can't two screen with my person. Okay, fine. Anyway, cuz she broke it down cuz I wasn't thinking about the supply trains, the truckers and the warehouse and the this and the this and the this. There were a whole lot of trucks on the road yesterday, but it, the trickle down effect did not resonate in my poor little pea brain. So I'm glad she did it that way. Darcia says, I don't know how true it is. Banks are asking, are you a U.S. citizen and want proof of address? I'm still investigating that one. I have not started a new account with a bank that I am not already in. And I know they ask you if you're a U.S. citizen and they ask you for your address. I don't remember what else they've asked you for because I've been making new accounts in already established banks. So yeah, let us know about that, Darcia. I'm pretty sure they probably do. Granny says, yeah, I can't stockpile any of my meds. if I can't get the pain meds I've been on for ages, I'll end up in the hospital for sure. I know I'm not alone, but what a scary thought. Yeah, and you have to be careful if you are going to try to stockpile meds because you know they expire. So you don't want to buy acetaminophen this year that expires in 26 when we have to do this until 28 unless you can stagger the dates, but I know I don't go to the store that much. Yeah, and control meds, a lot of them you can't stockpile because a lot of the medications you can only get refilled at certain intervals. And if you call for a refill before it's time, they will tell you it's too soon. You cannot refill this one. You have BB? I had not seen her before. Well, Granny, that's the important thing. You go ahead and stitch. We got to get you an FO. Michelle says, I'm hearing that financial institutions are requiring citizenship validation because they are freezing accounts. Ooh, we okay. Lovely. Darcy says, BB, it came across my phone. I said, if it's not shown on TV, then I'm then I will believe it. Just don't check Fox. Just about anybody else besides Fox will tell you the truth. Yeah, less jobs all around. I wasn't thinking about that. Whoa, BB says unemployment will definitely be going up. And they don't understand that when unemployment goes up, the taxes go down and the money they can spend goes down. BB says, I need to stock up on school supplies. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to do that too because I have to see what Shorty has at home. I think she's used up all the pencils and crayons over here. I see a big container of erasers, but I don't see any notebooks or folders. I'm going to have to check with her mother. 5 pencils each year I taught school. See? But see, Shorty's got this pencil sharpener fetish, and she will sharpen her pencil down to nubs. You can give her a brand new pencil, and by the end of the day, she's got a nub. And you're lucky if she has an eraser because she just takes the erasers off. I don't. She's very destructive. And your insulin, can you recharge your insulin pump, Kate? Are they rechargeable batteries? Michelle says, yes, my daughter works in that industry and she has been in meetings about this since last Thursday. Oh man. And Trump in that same interview, and I think it was CNN. I want to say CNN, but I'm not sure. But the anchor was asking him about Amazon going to put the tariffs as a separate list so people could see how much of the tariffs are costing him. And he says, yeah, I talked to Jeff and he decided he wasn't going to do it that way because, yeah, the tariffs aren't really being paid by the Americans. China's paying the tariffs. And I'm like, and she's trying to explain it to him. And he says, I don't understand why you ask those types of questions. And I'm like, okay. You're ordering extra OTCs just in case. Yes. What's her channel again? Her link is in the description. She is Belle, Belle, of the ranch. And the link to this video is in the description. Good morning, Sam. How are you? Glad to see you. Did I miss? And I saw Pebble's comment and didn't even realize it was Pebbly Poo. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I am so tired. After I did this, I sat on the couch and I actually nodded off. And anybody who knows me knows I don't nod off, but I nodded off. They're freezing accounts. Oh, my land. Well, it may be time to start putting your money under your mattress again. Sam says, we have a 100-point system here. You need to reach 100 points before you can get ID or open an account, etc. What do you have to do to get a point, Sam? Yeah, they're so afraid of checks going to dead people, they just can't stand it. It's just beyond madness. Sam says each piece of ID, etc., is worth a certain number of points. For example, driver's license is 40, birth certificate is 80, etc. Oh, okay. No, expired meds are not better than none because when those compounds break down, they turn into something else. And they either A, do not work, or B, interfere with other medications that you're taking. Yeah, it's not that they're old, they break down and do other chemical things that might not be good. Because even our x-ray dye, we couldn't use it if it was expired. And our dye for CT we had in warmers, we had to date the bottles and we could only keep them in the warmer for 30 days. After that, we had to send them back to the pharmacy. It's more than a notion. Yeah, it really is getting scary over here. It is my little nephew, my niece married a gentleman from Windsor, Canada, and all of his family came over here for the wedding. And I just sat there amazed because number one, I'm not going to fly. Number two, I wouldn't be coming over here, but they don't look like me. So they're probably safer than I would be. Yeah, my brother flew in. I drove. Susan says, I'll check in to hear the whole rebroadcast scheduling conflict. I am so sorry, sweetheart. Hugs and smooches to you and Ashley. You two do what you need to do, and we'll be here. And if you have questions, you can put them in the comment, or you can email me and just let me know that you email me because we know how I am about email. Michelle says, exactly. My son takes C2 meds, and I hear is no stockpiling those. Yeah, there's a lot of things we can't stock. And even cold medication. Remember when you could only get a certain number of cold medications? And now at my one pharmacy, it's behind the glass counter. You have to ask for them. They are no longer on the shelves. Stock times 4. Chris says, my psych meds can't be stockpiled. If I don't get, I get. Oh, so I won't. Oh, girl. Yeah. Yeah, you cannot stockpile them, but honey, darling, you have to have them. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't want those breaking down. Kate says, nope. What was I talking about when you said nope? Donnie $2. Thank you, Michelle. That is sweet of you. Basil, he is. Yes, he should. He should have done it, and he should not have backed down. I admit, I agree. He should have taken a stand. His wife and I have. I'll be honest. I have not read the whole thing because there were other things that I wanted to delve into. But she has closed down her free school. Why would you close down a free school? But I don't know. We're doing tariffs today. Panda, panda, panda. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes, me and mine are doing well. It was a beautiful wedding. It really was. They did the tradition. They had traditional Filipino aspects in the wedding. And I had never been to a Filipino wedding, so it was very moving. And I did not know my nephew was Filipino. So, hey, culture shock, but I loved it. Kate says, and I think there are some business who are yes, they are price gouging. They are. My cousin just bought a toilet from the store with a huge stick, and the price went up over $100 in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, they are. They are. That's why we started shopping in November. We started shopping before inauguration for that reason. Well, yes, they could kill you, but we're not going there. We're tougher than that. No, that is true too. No, expired meds are dangerous. They really are. They really are. And they should not be taken lightly. And I'm joking about it, but no, it really is a serious thing because you're putting chemicals into your body. Pebble says, I take limited meds, primary use natural ways. And check and see. I just got and I left that in the other room, didn't I? I just got a pamphlet. We are having food trucks coming around in our area with fresh produce that they are selling at a discounted price. Now, I don't know if that means they're selling a banana for $2 instead of $4. I don't know what this reduced price is, but they said they're selling healthy at a reduced price. So see if they have something like that in your area. Um, the trucks here are mainly set up outside of libraries or YMCAs, is what I saw in this pamphlet. So, and unfortunately, the two places that are closest to me are on Monday and Wednesday during VJ's live. So, but they're from 3 to 5. So when I get off at 4, Granny, I'm gonna have to listen to you in the car because I'll have to go check out the produce. Pebble says, too many using them to get high or making other illicit drugs. That is the truth. And he's always talking about the enemy within. He needs to be looking at the homegrown drug dealers. Kate says insulin pump batteries are not rechargeable. Oh, that's what you're talking about. And because I just listened to this story, and this girl had an insulin pump that she plugged in with the USB cable to an outlet, and she could recharge it. I never thought about doing it that way. So that's why I asked. Pebble says, hi, yep, they are working on my washer. Yep, we need clean clothes. Darcia says, now I did see that on the news about cold medications. They did say stockpile on those, but also check expiration date to where you have at least 2 to 3 years on it. Because remember, the COVID tests had expired dates on it, and they went through and looked at them and said, no, we're extending the dates for another year. So, but we don't have those regulatory agencies anymore. So, yeah. Chris says, Pebbles, there are no natural meds that I can use. Well, honey, all you can do is all you can do. I mean, and depending upon the natural med, it may not even grow in your area. So it really depends, because and if it grows in your area, you got to watch out for pesticides. You have to watch out for animal contamination. Because my father-in-law had E. coli, and I told him that's because he eats berries out of the yard and he doesn't wash them off. And he says, no, that's not where it comes from. And I'm like, okay, Dad, you've got 2 dogs and 2 cats walking through the vegetable patch and you don't wash the vegetables off. But okay. All I can do is tell you what I know. Pebble says, some I take need to be RX too. Yeah. Sam says maybe it's wonky fruit and veg. A lot of supermarkets won't take the farm, but oh, those ugly fruits. That's true, true. Hello, Coley. So good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? Chris says, but enemy within may lead him back to his followers. Okay, says that's cool. What a great idea. I do have a hand winder charger for my phone. And mind you, like I said, this was a story I was listening to on the YT, but she had a USB cord and she plugged it into the outlet, plugged the other end into her pump, and she recharged her pump. Yeah, that's what I said. It was like, Dad, So when we all go to visit him, we take turns going behind him and trying to sanitize what he's doing. But I mean, the man's 92 years old. He's been doing something right, but the rest of us sit there going, no, 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 no. And sometimes when we throw things away, we have to hide them. I think my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law made a sheet cake and left it out on the counter. And when we got back, there were all these little bitty tiny red ants in it. So Dad was just wiping the ants off with a paper towel. And he says, it's fine. We can eat it. And I'm like, I went and got that brother and told him what had happened. And he says, okay, thank you. And he put it in a plastic grocery bag, put it in the trunk of his car, and threw it away when he went by the filling station. Because I was like, just so you know, there were ants in that. Just so you know, because I'm thinking you all can eat that if you want, but I am not going to eat that. Coley is stressing her 85-year-old mother has shingles. Right now, Coley, they still have the shingles vaccine. As soon as she gets over this outbreak, she should make an appointment to go get the shot before they discontinue it. Because right now because they've been hounding me since last November to get the vaccine. I'm sorry they missed her. I am so sorry they missed her. Now here, oh women, what did Kate say? I will put in a question to Medtronics about this. Can you ask your cousin if they are switching to an adoption for batteries? I can ask her. Let me write a note. Let me write a note to Jenny. Let's see. Rechargeable. Okay. I'll ask her. Kate, do you want me to put the link to that book I was listening to in the chat so that you can listen to it and see what you think about that pump? Roberta, welcome in. Good to see you. Honey, you're not late. This is the time you're supposed to be here. We're just doing stuff. You know how we are. And there's always the replay. Sam says, hey, Michelle and everybody I have missed. Sorry, I was stuffing face with coffee and a few biscuits. Coffee is important. Coley says she didn't get it, but she will now. Oh, you're welcome, Kate. Let me see if I still have it up here. If not, it's in my history. Because, yeah, it's right here because I didn't think you could. Well, I didn't know. Come on, give me a link. Okay, this is about the rechargeable pump. Recharge ABLE-RECH. Why is that not? Or is it EBLE? It's got to be ABLE. What's wrong with the? It's not liking how I spelled rechargeable. RECHARGABLE. Rechargeable. That's how you spell it? Or is it rechargeable? Anyway, you know what I mean. You can plug it in. Dorothea says, I have to do that with my husband. I have to hide things to throw away, even if it's broken. He tries to keep everything. Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Michelle is creating shorts while she listens. Oh, it's EABLE. Okay. Insulin pump. Because Kate needs batteries for her insulin pump. And I was telling her I was reading a story, which is the link that I put in the description, and her pump was rechargeable with the USB cable. I'm missing an E. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Coley. It kept saying there was something wrong with it, and I did not know what was wrong with it. So thank you. I was missing, because I took out the A and put in the E, and it did not like that either. So then we have my dear friend Tabitha. I love me some Tabitha, but she is crazy. But she has also done a thing about the tariffs. Oh, I need to turn Tabitha on. And the link for this is also in the description, because I'm only doing the tariff part, but she was going through most of the things that he has broken in the 100 days, as has Rachel Maddow. I think Lawrence, is it O'Donnell, has also done something similar, because everybody's just roasting him, because this 100 days has been like 4 years. I'm ready for another election. I'm ready for him to go. I don't know about anybody else, but this has been the longest 100 days of my life.
Reciprocal tariffs that nobody really can understand what the process was, and thinking up these percentages. Yeah, he rolled back those reciprocal tariffs, but the 10% across the board tariff that he imposed is still in effect. So now we are starting to see some increases on the things that we have normally been able to obtain at low cost. People are losing their minds as they are now shopping over at Shein and seeing the import tax that they are having to pay, the import tax, which is the tariffs. Sometimes the import tax is more than what the item costs. Someone posted the other day this snapshot of some items that they were ordering from Shein, and the item totaled was like $20. By the time the import tax was tacked onto the order, it was well over $50. I myself had something coming in from Japan, and DHL has been holding it for at least a week now.
Oh.
Backbone was originally founded based on how we thought the future of gaming would unfold. We believed that one day, great games would be available on any screen. And
mercy.
Prove what was in the package. I had to send them a copy of the invoice. I had to prove who I was, my address, all of that jazz. And I still haven't gotten the package. Now, what I ordered was well under $800. But yeah, my package is held up over there at U.S. Customs. I have yet to get the package. And like I said in previous videos before, this tariff war that Donald Trump has attempted with China, he will never win. It is clear, because now he is hemming and hawing and stepping back off of that 145% tariff that he at one point had imposed on Japan. Yeah, he stepped back off of that. If it's still intact now, I don't know. But I know that China has made new trading agreements with other nations, cutting out the United States altogether. Beef, they are now getting from somewhere else. Soybeans, they are now getting from somewhere else. I think the beef they are now getting from Australia. I don't know where they're getting the soybean from. I know they've been negotiating with Mexico. Yeah. And when you're looking at the news today and they're reporting from different ports around the country and showing that there are no ships docking at these ports, ships with merchandise, I am terrified. I am terrified. An empty port means no goods are coming into this country. Are American corporations set up to fill in the slack? Absolutely not. That means there are going to be some bare shelves in stores across the country. Another success of Donald Trump during his first 100 days, he was able to ship off 200.
The link for this video is also in the description. But yeah, they're making it hard for us. And the one man said, well, Americans don't want cheap items from China anyway. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, he's like, because Trump says, we have factories here, they can make them here. Our factories are not set up to make the things that we buy from overseas, and to retrofit our factories, I've heard, will take 4 years. So for 4 years, we're not going to have any product. Sam says, I heard there is going to be a man. Yes. We were all writing in telling him that we did not pay taxes for him to have a birthday parade. So he's trying to finagle it and have it be on the 250th anniversary of the armed forces, which happens to coincide with his birthday. Yeah, and he wants it communist style. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Coley says, Michelle, I was told that women are the best at multitasking. I must have missed the memo. Yeah, he needs to go ASAP because I tell you. And they have filled out an article of impeachment, which I don't see how it's going to help, because if they impeach him, we get shady. That's no better. That's no better. Oh my God. Him, Donnie, $2. Kate says, Darcia, my husband was the same way. I am having to go through all that stuff. I had no idea where he put it. I even found 23 big boxes he left at my son's house. You weren't moving when he was still here. How did he get 23? Never mind. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. You have a good son. Oh my gosh. 23 boxes. You could have a lovely garage sale. It would you'd probably get enough money to live for about 10, 15 years. He was looking for your later life. He's looking out for you, Kate. Roberta says he's the old man standing at the rose garden reaming, head off the lawn. What? He's the old man standing at the rose garden reaming, head off the... Oh, get off the lawn. Oh, Australian beef? Really? Now that's hypocritical. Okay, I know that communists, so so will be hypocrites. But China has refused our beef due to how we label it for decades. Okay, so why don't they just sell the beef here cheaper? Since they're not selling the beef overseas, why don't they lower the price and sell it here? It's better than not selling beef at all. It's to my way of thinking. BB says they're getting the soybeans from Brazil. Wow. Wow. Kate says that sounds more like customs in Canada. I bought a set of books to send to my daughter in Canada. I only paid $8.99 for the hooks, but they wanted $23 for her to pick them up. Yeah. And that's craziness to me. That really is. That is just craziness to me. Panda says they obviously haven't seen how much people spend on Temu. Exactly. Exactly, because they have the people. Well, actually, they don't shop. They have people who shop for them. Their aides and their assistants. They get on the phone and they say, "I need to order so and so. Take care of that for me." They don't understand what the prices are when they're going out. The designers lend them gowns so they don't have to pay for anything. It's us who have to pay for everything. Panda says, if I was still in, they would have had to send me to the brig. No, if you were still in, they would have put you out. They wouldn't have let you stay. Goose stepping and the whole mess. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They want to do the communist one. Mm-hmm. Chris says, but Shady's easier to impeach. But then if we impeach Shady, we're left with Mike Johnson. And I cannot stand him. He does not stand on principle. Whatever you tell him to do, he does it, as long as it's not anything that the Democrats want. Sam said, ooh, uh-huh. Yep, because when I first heard his name, I heard it over the radio and I wasn't looking at the teleprompt, and I thought his name was Shady Vance. And I was trying to figure out who would name their baby Shady. And then I found out that it was JD, which is really his initials. I think his name is John David or John somebody or other. But yeah, so I call him Shady because he is shady. He had some kind of sense as long as he was clean shaven. But when he started growing that beard, he lost his mind. Roberta says, Chris, he'll have that protection of the president. Is it transferable or is it only for Trump? So is every president now going to have immunity? Oh, that's scary. Chris says Americans will have no jobs, therefore prices going up is stupid. That's true. Roberta says, I'm having fantasy of designated survivor. Oh, and I wasn't thinking that we would have an issue with soap. We make soap here, so why would soap be an issue or a shortage? I did not understand that one. Case says nothing in the Constitution has prepared us for this massive. Girl, say it again, say it again, say it again. And what I don't understand is, why don't they just handcuff him and drag him out of there? Why do we have to go through these hoops to make him? I still say he shouldn't have been able to run in the first place. A felon should not have been allowed to run for president. Point blank, amen. And it just went downhill from there. I stand with Colorado. They should not have put his name on the ballot. Panda says it's like when we had a shortage of, yeah. Yeah. Are the ingredients from soap imported? Well, we'll just have to use bacon fat and make lye soap again. I have to get some. If you know people who have goats, have them learn how to make goat milk soap. Chris says, will Johnson still be there to be impeached at the speed Congress moves? I you know, Tabitha, the last person that we looked at, she has said that the old guard needs to go. Nancy Pelosi and Schiff, and she's got three. I forgot who the third one was, but she said they are old, their views are antiquated, and they need to get the young bloods in. And Kate Porter was up against Adam Schiff, and she would have won, except Nancy Pelosi backed Schiff, so everybody voted for Schiff. And Katie was really, really good. So she's going up again. My brother lives in California. I said, you get all your friends together. Nancy Pelosi is putting her name on the ticket again. I said, you have to vote Nancy Pelosi out because she's the one who backed Schiff, and that kept Katie Porter from getting in. Now, whether he does it is another story, but I told him they can't back Nancy Pelosi. Oh, thank you, TP, because I'm like, P? Yeah, no, it wasn't coming to me. Yeah. If a felon cannot vote, they can't run or shouldn't. That's what we kept saying. But guess what? They let him go in the booth and vote. I always thought a felon should not be allowed to vote. I mean, I thought that was the rule. If you were a felon, you could not vote. I think, and I see, what was it? Because I did Google it. Is it by, well, I think it's by state. If it depends upon the laws of your state. Let me double check, because we know how my poor feeble brain is. They said it has been common practice in the United States to make felons ineligible to vote, in some cases permanently. So maybe he could, I don't know why. Okay. Why was Trump allowed to vote? Let's just break it down. It says yes, unless he is incarcerated for his felonies in New York at the time of the election or convicted of a felony in another jurisdiction that takes away his right to vote. So, yeah, he could vote, which does not seem correct to me, but hey, what do I know? I did not go to law school for a reason. Make my head spin. But Biden was still able to vote. You know how to make lies soap? Go ahead with your bad self. Biden had them, didn't use them. He had integrity. See? However, remember that Shady used to hate. Sometimes before got his name from one of his kids. So I am praying if they ever get rid of the arse, he may go back to his thinking before he gets hooked up. Yeah, with T. Yeah, he did. He used to, that's when he was clean shaven. He couldn't stand T. And then he started growing his beard and his head turned around, and now his head is so swollen. Susan says these folks are Cali old guard. See, Susan, you all have to get Pelosi out. You really do. Because Katie Porter, I mean, I'm not even a California diehard, but I had listened to Katie Porter and she was really good. And she would break it down. She'd have cards and she'd break it down into numbers and really explain to you why and how a thing was bad. So there would be no wiggle room. I loved her. But, Nancy. Yeah, yeah, she needs to go too. She did good while she was doing good, but yeah, she needs to step down. We need more Jasmine Crockett's, AOC, Maxwell Frost, Greg Kassar. What's Garcia's first name? Because they will stop you down and take names. They don't care if you put them out. But Hakeem called Maxwell and Jasmine into the office and told them to behave. But I love that they stand up and show out. But that's just me. And he pushed back a few times before they blew smoke up his nose. Kay says, oh, I almost forgot. Somehow I ended up with a friend I did not request, cannot find, and just shows up occasionally to shake his finger at my big mouth. Oh, we talked about that last week, didn't we? That you're in a group. So, you said you're not in a group. And you don't know how to block him? Is this on Instagram? Or is it on Facebook? Because you can connect your Instagram to your Facebook, and he may show up on your Facebook side and be on the Instagram side. Check Instagram and see if you can uncheck him from there. You might have been following the president, and when the president changed, you got the new one instead of the old one. BB says the same thing with AOC. Pelosi back someone else. And when AOC was out, excuse me, campaigning, and it's on her YT commercials too, the Democrats primaried her, and she with either an incumbent or somebody else in New York who's very well known, and she beat the old guard. Her own party primaried her, and she won. Go ahead, AOC. Panda says they make them unable to vote, but use the prison population for numbers. Yeah, that's true. Because Jasmine talked about that too. Because they instead of using the people who are in the town, they use the nearby prisoners so that they can get another representative. And she said, I forgot how many thousands of people her district went up, but they only got 2 Republican seats. She says, how does that happen? Yeah, they used to inflate them. Yep. And It's corrupt. It is corrupt. In North Carolina, you can vote again once you have gone through the whole parole process. Oh, okay. Chris says that Brennan Center for Justice, Brennan System for Justice, a conservative supporter. I don't know. Thank you, Michelle. Love you, cuz. I don't know, Chris. Where is the Brennan Center for Justice? Yes, I loved Katie Porter. I really did. And I mean, I would sit there and go, okay. Even I understand that. Keep what is your name again? I'm gonna follow you. I loved Katie Porter. And they had her on late night TV shows and whatnot, and I would be sitting there with my crochet. What are we talking about tonight? Katie says, I have tried, okay? No, I always send letters and never follow them. I love AOC and sure wish Stacey Abrams would go national. The GOP has spent years readjusting the voting districts. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. I'm not familiar with Stacey Abrams. I'm going to have to look into, is Stacey a him or a her? I'm going to have to look at them. BB says, I live in AOC's district and I have voted twice for her. She is amazing. She is amazing. She really is. And she's so down to earth. I love me some AOC. I love me some Jasmine because she will get up in their faces and tell them all about themselves. I love Maxwell Frost because he will sit there and he will tell them all about themselves. And he will tell you what he thinks about you. And they will ask him to change his words. And he says, no, I'm going to leave that word in there. And they said, well, then you're not going to be able to speak anymore during this hearing. He says, okay. He's like, no, I'm not removing that word. Go ahead, Maxwell. That article that said it's okay for him to vote. Oh, okay. Oh, that was, I see. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I got you. Hold on. Let's go find out. That's a good question because I had never seen them before. Thank you for calling me on that. Let's see. Brennan Center for Justice. Issues our work. Let's see. Crafts innovative policies and fights for them in Congress and the courts. News analysis, court cases, research and report, policy solutions. See all our work. Let's look at policies. Well, let's see. What's the about? Mission and impact. Works to build an America that is democratic, fun, and free for all. It's an independent, nonpartisan law and policy organization that works to reform, revitalize, and when necessary, defend our country's system of democracy and justice. Go ahead with your bad self. They say the Brennan Center has built a distinct model to advance legal and policy change. We're a think tank conducting rigorous research to identify problems and craft transformative solutions. We're an advocacy group fighting in court and working with elected officials to advance legislation. We're a cutting-edge communications hub shaping opinion by taking our message directly to the press and public. Go ahead, Mr. Brennan, and your center. Great question, Chris. There we go. That's their policy thing. But that is awesome. Yeah, if it's not Fox News, is more believable in my eye. Oh, hey, they finally found. Oh, did they? Is it gonna make us unhappy, Roberta? Kate says former Georgia state rep, very active in politics, and she has such a great grasp of politics. Oh, okay. Stacey Abrams is great too. She tried to go for oh, that was her. Okay, yes, I heard about her. Yes, I forgot about her though, because I'm so wrapped up in MTG trying to get her out of here. She hosts a group called Under Investigation. Does she? Abrams was your choice for VP. Sorry, screen went blank and had a double. Oh, that's okay. The Democrats won. Yay! Woot. Granny says, dang, how did I hide Susan? So sorry, Susan. I corrected my faux pas. Granny, you're supposed to be over there crafting. You're not supposed to be over there hiding people. What happened? What did you do, Granny? Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, as you see, with everything that was going on, now you see why I couldn't figure out any homework for today, because this is Trump playing in the litter box. G is not talking to him, and who was I looking at? They said all of these foreign ministers that he says that he's been speaking to on the phone about the tariffs, they're not calling him. So it's kind of like, does he really believe the things he is saying? Or does he think that we're just so stupid we're going to believe everything that comes out of his mouth? I'm not sure which one he's really leaning towards. He's really gotten hard for me to watch lately, because I know every time he opens his mouth he's going to lie, and it's a knee-jerk reaction to me. I hate being lied to. I hate people talking down to me because they think I'm stupid. And you start lying to me, I turn you off, and I don't deal with you. It took me 19 years to convince my ex-husband that I was not going to listen to his lies, but I finally got it across to him that, yeah, no, he's not going to listen to me. I'm not going to listen to him. If you're lying, yeah, no, we're done. So I have not heard a lot of what he's saying. I've been listening to some of the people who are doing little sound bites so I can keep up with what's happening. But to sit down and watch his whole interview, I can't do it. I can't sit there and listen to him twist facts when I know he's twisting facts, and there are people out there listening to him who are going to believe that he is telling the gospel truth. I can't do it. So yes, we're trying to find ways to go around him. Yes, we're going to keep hammering them home. We had homework last week and the week before. If you have not caught up with that homework, please do so. I will give you this week off because I'm just tired. Anything anybody wants to talk about in particular next week? Because it's just pitiful. I did put the link in the community tab for the little signages they have going up the White House road of the people that they've deported. And I politely wrote and told them I did not pay taxes for that. I like the idea of having the parade for the 250th anniversary of the armed forces. I do not think Trump deserves a parade. And he especially does not deserve a parade with all of the money he has spent going golfing every weekend. Somebody needs to ground him. He does not need to fly to Florida every other weekend. We can't afford that. That's the waste, fraud, and abuse. Dang, how the The orange guy also asked the Supreme Court to give Elon Musk and Doge for full range of. I hope they said no. I hope they said no. You love Frost, Raskin. I'm starting to warm up to Raskin. He was not my favorite, but I'm starting to warm up to him. AOC, Jasmine, yeah, I agree. And I'm warming up to Bernie. Yes. Thank God for them, because ooh, Lord have mercy. We need some people who will actually stand up and fight. And I understand Hakeem is trying to keep it dignified and, be proper about it. But now it's time to get down and dirty. Now we need, oh, Lord Jesus. Why is he so red? We got a red man and an orange man. What is wrong with these people? You got up, okay. Oh, don't you talk to me about litter boxes, lady. Toy, no. My cat just, oh no, she didn't stinkified up my room because she heard your voice. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That man's playing in the litter box. He's just so pitiful. To refresh my coffee and hit the wrong thingy. Granny, be careful about those thingies now. Kay said oh my gosh, he is so delusional. His little press secretary. She needs to go back to school. I don't know if she actually believes everything that comes out of her mouth, or if she's just so stupid and blonde that she's going to follow him around anyway. I just got off the phone with the president and he said, but he's lying, okay? Oh, he thinks we're stupid? Is that the thing? Ooh. Yes, and now he wants to refurbish Alcatraz to use it as a prison again. I don't pay taxes okay. Why are they going to take my tax dollars to refurbish Alcatraz when they've already spent a whole bunch of money to refurbish Gitmo? Waste, fraud, and abuse. That's homework. We did not spend, I did not spend my tax dollars for Alcatraz. I did not vote on that. I don't want that. And if they have a hurricane or something out there, tornado, whatever they have in the Pacific, because right now I don't remember, how are we going to get those people off that island? And there's sharks in that island. And we closed that thing for a reason. I don't remember what the reason was, but we closed it for a reason. So why are we going to open it again? She's also an HBCU graduate, Spelman and JD from Yale. And I have to go and look at Jasmine. She did a commencement address yesterday or Sunday. I don't know which college, but I want to go back and hear her commencement address. And the University of Alabama has invited Trump to come down and do their commencement address. Yay, Alabama. He thinks we're just that stupid. Okay. At least now I know he thinks we're just that stupid. Okay. Okay. Yeah. They are. That's why he said he likes the uneducated. Voting. Yeah, I didn't vote for that. Plus he wants to give $1,000 to people to self-import themselves. And he wants to give $5,000 to, now you know it's the white women, to have babies because the birth rate is low. Thanks, sweetheart. You know I'd never do that on purpose. Yeah, he wants to refurbish Alcatraz to house prisoners. Yeah, I'd attend a parade to see him off the jail. I would even drive down there to see that. For reals, yeah. Just the infrastructure on the island is going to be a ridiculous amount of money. Yep. And we've already spent millions of dollars in Gitmo. So we're going to... He's so stupid. Yeah, so, yeah. Alcatraz is homework. Yeah, I love Corey. And you know what? I never saw much of him until he did that 24-hour thing because I've been so hooked up in Congress. I haven't really spent much time with the Senate. The Supreme Court have not answered that request yet. Thank you. I wonder if we can start writing to them. She's just so stupid and blonde as a... Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I was like, girl, please go sit down somewhere and shut up. Sorry, but Hakeem needs to go. We need people that are willing to fight. He's been too nice. He's been too nice. You can be nice and get your point across. You can be nice and work in the background, but he's nice and he's sitting on his hands. Because believe it or not, I'm nice, but you get on my bad side, we're going to have a long talk. And right now, they're on my bad side. I really, 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 really like Hakeem, but he is so focused on decorum, we're not getting anything done. They need to let the fighters out front. They do. Jasmine was asked why doesn't she and AOC have leadership roles? And she said they applied. They were not selected. So the Democrats are holding them back. We don't need decorum right now. We need fighters. She give... Yes, she does. Yes, she does. She gives him a bad name. I love the commentator who always says, I don't know how that cross around her neck isn't burnt into her. You're talking about the, what is it, Granny? The gin and pebbles, the I've had it girls. Yep, it should be seared into her skin. Can you believe? Yeah, Alcatraz. Just because. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if it's been in a movie, then that's the only way he knows about it. I don't think it's native property. It's a big island out in the middle of the Pacific and it's surrounded by sharks. I don't believe, now I might be wrong, I don't believe natives had, the only thing I know about it has been the prison. So I don't know what it was before the prison. Have you seen that place lately? No. Billions. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, that's what he wants to do. That's not why I pay taxes. So yeah, that's our homework. He is so delusional. It's not going to happen. He's just looking for the drama. You think? Okay. Sam says, reason it. Alcatraz was shut was high cost of maintenance, old building, and hard to get stuff, food, etc. to and from. It's deemed impractical to continue to use, costs 3 times any other prison. And that's why and it costs 3 times more, and he wants to make a big show. That's why he had the people taken down to Gitmo on military planes, because it made good pictures. Alcatraz brings in 30 to 60 million a year as part of the national parks. Well, since we're not funding the national parks, it's not bringing in any money right now. It was native land. Oh, well, thank you. He has that smirk my ex used to have when he'd walk in. Girl. Sorry, no babies here. In and say, what can I do to piss you off? Girl, yes. You're sitting here too quiet. You're looking too peaceful. What can I do to and my ex used to come in and start a fight so he could walk out in a huff. And I finally told him, look, if you want to go out, but don't come in here picking at me, starting a fight so you can walk off in a huff. And he looked at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm smart enough to figure that out. Factory's closed. I can't recognize Cory Booker either until the filibuster, right? But I was proud of him, and up until then, he was sitting there quiet. I mean, the Senate has been so quiet during this whole election process. The only people out there making waves have been the congressmen. And Bernie was quiet until he decided he was going to cross the country and tell them all about themselves. And so now I'm sitting back going, oh, Bernie, I like you. I didn't know anything about Bernie before this. Yep, I'm proud of him. Right, I love Hakeem, but he needs to get to, Hakeem needs to be tough. I've had it, girls. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, because they always talk about her, the triple trumpers and the Bible thumpers. Yeah, but like I like Hakeem, but he needs to, and I understand if he wants to keep decorum, then he needs to deputize somebody to speak on his behalf, because he's not getting the message across. And that's what they kept saying about the election. They weren't getting their message across. Whoever was counseling Kamala dropped the ball, because she started out real good, real strong, and then they started telling her what to say, and she kept saying the same talking points over and over and over, and people kept saying, we don't know what she's about. And I'm like, she just told you. How do you not know what she's about? She just told you what she's about. But yeah, and I think she did fantastic for only having 108 days to do it, so she really did a great job. But they believe the loud, brash showman, and we have just enough bigots in this country that they would not vote for a woman of color. And if we had those tens of millions of people who did not vote, we would have had some help. But yeah, we're fighting uphill with no weapons. I'm here for it. Yeah, I am here for it. I really am here for it. Well, it is 3:24 Central Time. We need to go raid my dear sis Ola Joe. I did not get a ping that she is live. Is she live? We need to do a VJ. We need to do a VJ raid over to Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor. Or is she off today, Granny? Oh, there's Shorty's bus. I hear her. Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor. Let me give you this link real quick. She's gone live now. There she is. Okay, let me drop this link in here for you. We're going to do a Valjean raid, and I will be over there shortly. As soon as I let Shorty in the door. Hold on, everybody. See you there, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye.